Andrew Tucker, and welcome to Andrew Tucker World. What's going on, all my great people? What's going on, all my boxing fans? Uh, this is gonna be a real quick video, so I will be doing live commentary for this fight right here. Louis King Kong Ortiz versus Charles Martin. You know, I think it's an interesting heavyweight showdown. Charles Martin has a big, powerful left hand. Louis King Kong Ortiz has a big, powerful right hand, and he has power in both hands. The left and the right. He's very dangerous, a very dangerous fighter. A very dangerous Cuban fighter. He's 32 wins, only 2 losses. 2 of those defeats came by the hands of Deontay Wilder. But he has also 27 knockouts. He is one of the best heavyweights. One of the best heavyweights in the heavyweight division. He's in the top 10 for a reason. And he came close to stopping the very dangerous Deontay Wilder in their first fight, but he came up short when Deontay Wilder was able to recover, and but he was able to bounce back and get the stoppage over Louis King Kong Ortiz. And then in that rematch, he was winning the fight, until he got caught with that big, powerful right hand, by Deontay Wilder. But Louis King Kong Ortiz is a very dangerous fighter. He's a warrior. I still believe he's still dangerous even at his age. He's older now, but I believe even at his age he's still dangerous. You know what I mean? He's still dangerous. I mean, when his last fight against Alexander Flores, Alexander Flores, that was a devastating knockout. No technical knockout. I mean, knockout. That was a devastating knockout over his last opponent, Alexander Flores. Louis King Kong Ortiz is very dangerous. I remember fights when, against Christian Hammer, he was able to win a unanimous decision. Christian Hammer is a very tough heavyweight. I remember the fight against Travis Kaufman. I'm talking about Louis King Kong Ortiz. He was able to knock him out. I think at that time Travis only had 1 defeat. He was like 32 wins or something like that, 1 loss. I forget how many knockouts, but Travis Kaufman was a solid opponent. And Louis King Kong Ortiz was able to score a knockout over him. And I remember even him getting a knockout over fighters like David Allen. I remember that it was somewhat of a competitive fight against him and Malik Scott. I'm talking about Louis King Kong Ortiz. One of the guys that I followed a little bit in the heavyweight division in the past. Brian Jennings. He was able to score a technical knockout over Brian Jennings. You know what I'm saying? So Louis King Kong Ortiz is looking to step in the ring on January the 1st and make a statement. Against the very hard-hitting Charles Martin. Charles Martin, he only has 2 losses as well. He has 28 wins, 2 losses, and 25 of his wins coming by the way of knockouts. So let's just remember that he has 25 wins coming by the way of knockout. So almost most of all his fights is ended in knockouts. Charles Martin is a problem. Charles Martin has a dangerous left hand. You know what I mean? He's a dangerous counterpuncher as well. And I liked that he was coming off. People would be like, well, I don't care about this fight. I'm not interested in this fight. This fight doesn't mean anything. Why is this fight on pay-per-view? Because you got two entertaining heavyweights. You got Charles Martin, that came off a spectacular knockout over Jared Washington. People are like, well, Jared Washington is a nobody. They get so quick to throw dirt on these fighters' names so quick, to call fighters cab drivers and bombs and stuff like that, disrespecting these fighters. But you guys have never stepped in the ring. You guys have never probably laced up a pair of gloves. You guys don't even know what it's like to have been through what these fighters have been through. You know what I mean? The long process. You know what I'm saying? From the amateurs or whatever, and and moving up in the rankings and stuff as becoming professional fighters. I have a lot of love and respect for a lot of these. I have a lot of love and respect for a lot of these fighters because they're warriors. They're gladiators. You know what I'm saying? And they have a lot of heart and determination to get in there and fight and put their life on the line. Of course, they're prize fighters. Of course, they're going to be rewarded because they're prize fighters. They're fighting for their family. They're fighting to be great. They're fighting for legacy. A lot of these fighters, but they're fighting to feed their family. They're fighting to survive as well. But I respect these fighters for putting their life on the line for our entertainment. Charles Martin, that was a spectacular technical knockout over Jared Washington. I remember that fight. I believe that was on the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury rematch undercard. You know what I mean? And I remember that that was a spectacular knockout. He's been on the winning streak. He's been like on a 3-win winning streak since his defeat to Adam Kornacki. Which Adam Kornacki was able to win a unanimous decision. Over Charles Martin. I feel like if Charles Martin was to rematch Adam Kornacki, I feel like he could knock him out. But Adam Kornacki could hurt him and stop him as well. I mean, I think that I would love to see that rematch. But he was, he had wins. Even when he got knocked out against Anthony Joshua, the great Anthony Joshua, he was able to, win a technical knockout over I forget the fighter's name. I believe his name was Byron or something like that. And then he was able to get a technical knockout over a fighter named Michael Marone or something like that. He was able to get knockouts over those guys. I believe that was the name of the fighters. I believe that was the name of the fighters. But he was able to get knockouts over those fighters, technical knockouts. And then he came up short against Adam Kornacki. And then he was able to get a win over a few other opponents. He was on a 3-win winning streak. It was a technical knockout over I forget the fighter. I think it's Daniel Martz or something like that. And then the fight, his last fight was against Jared Washington. He was able to get a knockout, technical knockout. I'm talking about Charles Martin. So at the end of the day, I think stylistically we get a war, we get an entertaining fight, we get two big punchers. One is more slightly I think Louis King Kong Ortiz can be somewhat of a pure boxer, but he's more of a dangerous boxer puncher. You know what I mean? More of a dangerous boxer puncher. He's also in a way a technical brawler. You know what I'm saying? Charles Martin is a big puncher, but he's not bad. I think the slightly better skilled boxer between the two is Louis King Kong Ortiz. I favor him for a late round stoppage for some reason. Late round stoppage or something like that. It's going to be an epic battle. It's going to be two guys going to war with each other. But Charles Martin could land that big left hand and knock him out. You never know. He can land that big left hand and hurt Louis King Kong Ortiz. I mean, if he was hurt against Wilder, which we know Wilder has that dynamite knockout power, that very dangerous, vicious right hand. But Charles Martin also has a very big, powerful left hand. He has power as well. So he lands on the chin of Louis King Kong Ortiz. It's a chance Louis King Kong Ortiz can get knocked out. But as far as slightly skilled, better boxer, Lewis King Kong Ortiz can slightly outbox Charles Martin. Charles Martin has gotten a little better. You know what I mean? Since Adam Kornacki, and even since he fought Anthony Joshua, he's gotten a little better. So his boxing is not too bad. You know what I'm saying? But it's not on. I don't think it's quite on the level of Lewis King Kong Ortiz. I think he's slightly the better boxer, and I think that he's gonna outbox him, probably maybe break him down, and then probably get the late round technical knockout. Or Charles Martin could end up knocking out Lewis King Kong Ortiz, setting him up, because he's gotten better at setting up that left hand, that powerful left hand, powerful left straight. So he probably can end up knocking him out. It's a dangerous fight. Somebody's getting knocked out, but it's going to be a fight. Frank Sanchez, one of my favorite young fighters, the Cuban Flash, Frank Sanchez, will be on the undercard. I am most definitely looking forward to it. Frank Sanchez, he will be most definitely fighting against a fighter named Carlos Negron. I don't know too much about the fighter. I will be doing some film study, checking out, looking at some fights from the fighter Carlos. But Frank Sanchez, I believe he should win this fight. I really believe that he is just a very skilled monster. He's the Cuban Flash. He's a technical monster, a technical beast, a very pure boxer puncher, and he's very dangerous. Very good at setting traps, good counter puncher, good inside and outside fighter, just very fast and explosive. And I just think that he should get the victory over Carlos. But like I said, I'm gonna do more film study on Carlos, and you got other fights as you can see, you got other fights on the undercard as well. Jared Washington, he has a fight against an opponent on the undercard, and Jonathan Rice, Michael Coffey too. So you got, I'm just really looking forward to the main event and the co-main event. Honestly, so I will be doing live commentary. But you guys, let me know in the comment section who you think is going to win the fight between Ortiz and Martin. You guys let me know who's going to win the fight. I think it's going to be an epic battle in a way. And any one of these guys can win this fight. Charles Martin can win. Lewis King Kong Ortiz can win. I just slightly lean towards Lewis King Kong Ortiz, but I would not be surprised if Charles Martin was to knock out Lewis King Kong Ortiz. And Lewis King Kong Ortiz can knock out Charles Martin. It's a dangerous fight. And I think it's going to be an epic battle in a way. So don't sleep on this fight. Don't sleep on this fight. Then we got Frank Sanchez, Carlos, so I'm looking forward to seeing Frank Sanchez fight as well. You know what I'm saying? So you guys, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. More videos, more live streams is coming. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. The UK Army, Tucker Army, and all of my brothers and sisters from all around the world. I love you guys. Merry Christmas. And trust me, going into the new year, we're gonna bring in a new year with a bang. We're going to be on fire. In 2022, we're going to be on fire with boxing content, live streams, and everything. I love you guys. Much love and respect, and I'm out.